Hi, I'm Mike, founder of GoodBed. Today we're going to take a close look at the Saatva Rx mattress. Now, you may know Saatva is making quite a few bold claims about this bed. We're excited to give you our take on this mattress. Stick around. Now, just briefly, if you've never seen one of our videos before or been to our website, goodbed.com, the number one thing you've got to know about mattresses is that they are highly personal, meaning the best one for you is going to be very different than the best one for me and vice versa. So all the best mattress lists out there are garbage, and basically what you need to focus on are what we call the 3 Fs: fit, feel, and features, okay? Fit is about the characteristics of a mattress that determine whether it will be a good fit for your body shape, your weight, and your preferred sleep position. Feel are about the characteristics of the mattress that cannot even be universally better or worse. They can only be better or worse for your personal preferences. And features are the things about a mattress that actually can be better or worse. However, they may not be a priority for you personally. So that's how we do all of our reviews and all of our testing at GoodBed. Now let's start with fit, because that's what determines the degree to which you're going to get the two things everybody absolutely has to get from their mattress: proper spinal alignment and adequate pressure relief. Now, this is the first area where Saatva is making a lot of bold claims. And one of those on their website is that this is a great mattress for people with chronic back pain. Now, back pain can come from a lot of different sources, but most typically, if it has anything to do with your mattress, it's coming from improper spinal alignment, meaning that your spine is not held in its normal, natural, neutral position, meaning basically the same position it's in when you're standing upright, when you're lying prone or supine on the mattress. So the mattress that's going to hold your spine in the proper position, that neutral position, is going to be different from what holds anyone else's spine, because it's going to depend on, again, your body weight, shape, and preferred sleep position. So the notion that any one mattress is good at that across the board is marketing. Now, that being said, we do think that there's a lot to like about this RX mattress in terms of its ability to provide proper spinal alignment for a pretty wide range of people. Okay, so Saatva did do some smart things here, in my opinion, in the way that they designed this mattress. Okay, so they did use a very novel coil unit that we'll show you later in the video that has even more conformance, but they offset that and reinforce that with a few different ways of providing extra support underneath the heaviest part of your body in that center third, because that is a problem that can happen with this particular coil unit. Because it is so conforming, it can allow your center part, your hips, to sink too far. So they did a lot of smart things to offset that on the spinal alignment front. And net, where we come out on this is that we found that it is a bit firmer mattress. We'll talk about softness in a minute. But the result of that is that for side sleepers, we felt like lighter side sleepers probably will get not quite as good spinal alignment as heavier side sleepers. We felt like probably good spinal alignment, but not the best for a lighter side sleeper, but very good spinal alignment for the heaviest side sleepers, and kind of moving up and improving as you're talking about a heavier person. In terms of back sleepers, we thought that this would be very good to excellent for pretty much all back sleepers. The stuff I just mentioned in terms of the reinforcement of the center third, I think is going to prevent sagging for most people. Maybe for the heaviest people, back sleepers, we might say it was probably the least effective spinal alignment, but still at least good, if not very good. In terms of stomach sleepers, that's the area where you really got to watch out for your hips sinking too far into the mattress, because on that position, that would mean overarching of your back, which is a sure recipe for back pain. Here, I would say excellent for the lightest stomach sleepers. There's enough cushioning up on the top of the mattress, even just for your elbows and things like that, and plenty of center third support for the lightest stomach sleepers. However, the heaviest stomach sleepers, I would be a little nervous just on account of this coil unit having so much conformance. I probably would say only good spinal alignment for the heaviest stomach sleepers. And for someone like me who's in between, I'm almost 200 pounds, I'd probably say very good. Not quite excellent, but still very good. So that's kind of how I'd rate the spinal alignment for all the different types of sleepers and combinations of weight and sleep position. The second fit characteristic, as you recall, is pressure relief, and this is going to be principally a concern just for side sleepers or when you're side sleeping, because that's when your weight is distributed over the smallest surface area. And I would say pressure relief on this mattress is not probably quite as good as the spinal alignment that we just talked about, but still at least pretty good, if not good. Overall, I'd say it's better for lighter side sleepers than it would be for the heaviest side sleepers. So maybe still pretty good for the heaviest, and certainly at least good for the lightest side sleepers. All right, so now we're going to move on to the second of the 3 F's, which is feel. And these again are the things that cannot be universally better or worse. They can only be better or worse for your personal preference. And the first of these is softness. In this case, we would classify the RX as a firm on our softness spectrum. And we've got basically 9 softness classifications with, think of it as 5 being the middle. This would be a 3. So sort of two full notches to the firm side of middle, but still 2 notches away from the firmest classification we have. It arrives at this firm classification really kind of through a combination of having some rather soft, not the softest, but rather soft cushioning up on the top of the mattress. But then once you try to get, pushed down 3 inches or so into the mattress, it starts to get firm pretty quickly. So that's kind of how you end up. You do have a little bit of nice cushiony softness up on the top as you're lying on the mattress, but like I said, it nets out to about a firm. Maybe the softer side of that classification, but still within that firm bucket. The second feel characteristic is what we call cushioning depth, and this is the difference between sleeping in your mattress versus sleeping on your mattress. Here, I would say that this is going to be just on the sleeping in your mattress side of the spectrum, giving you just a smidge more of that hugged or cradled sensation. But it's interesting how it arrives at that level because it's kind of a combination of slightly offsetting factors. So there is certainly well above average amount of conformance, meaning the mattress is well more capable than average at conforming to your curves, like your shoulders. I'm not saying it's the absolute extreme end of that spectrum, but it is certainly well above average, like I said. And that would typically correlate with a lot of that sleeping in, hugged or cradled sensation. However, there's a little bit less sinkage. It's probably an average amount of sinkage in terms of how much you sink into the mattress just kind of when you're lying on your back, for example. And that's on account of that reinforced middle that I talked about before, that reinforced center third that kind of prevents you from. And then on top of that, in terms of like what we would call point elasticity, kind of how closely does this mattress just absolutely follow all the curves of your body, I would say in general, the top of this mattress doesn't follow it too closely, and also you see there's a lot of surface undulation here that just creates opportunities for air to kind of get in between the surface of the mattress and the surface of your body. So overall, those kinds of factors tend to offset and create more of a sleeping on your mattress sensation that nets out the well above average amount of conformance and gives you kind of just slightly more of that sleeping in your mattress sensation on balance. The next feel characteristic is memory feel, and there is a little bit of memory foam in this mattress. I don't think it's actually advertised anywhere on the Saatva website, but right up in the quilt, there's about a ½ inch to an inch or so of memory foam. Kind of right below, there's some organic cotton right underneath this cover, and then right below that, but sewn into the quilt package, is some memory foam. And there's even a little bit of foam right below that quilt package that's not memory foam, but it's a little on the slower side of responsiveness for poly foam. So you don't really get much memory feel, but you don't get zero either. So I would say it's well to the little to no memory feel side of that spectrum. Now, the last feel characteristic is bounce, and we look at this in 3 levels of the mattress. The surface of the mattress does have a fair bit of bounce. It's coming from just kind of that quilt package, but more so probably those microcoils that aren't too far below it. Then we get to mid-level bounce, which we test by dropping a bowling ball on the mattress. And that, again, tested well above average in terms of the amount of bounce. And that probably also has a lot to do with the microcoils, but also some of those foam layers that are relatively faster responding polyfoams and as opposed to memory foams. up at the top of this mattress. Now, when I get to the deep bounce test, where I actually plop my full weight on the mattress, this is where I'd say it is certainly still above average, but maybe not as much as bounce as some spring mattresses, or even maybe the average spring mattress. And I think that's on account of these unique spring designs that we're going to show you later in the video that have little foam hats on top of them. And those hats kind of help cushion some of the blow when you kind of come down on the mattress with your full weight, so you don't come up with quite as much gusto as you might on some mattresses. But nonetheless, on balance, when you net all that out, this is still an above average amount of bounce on this mattress. All right, so now we're going to move on to the third and final of the 3 Fs, which are the features. And these again are the things about this mattress that can be better or worse, but may or may not be a priority for you personally. And a good example of that is our first one, motion isolation, which is certainly going to be relevant to you if you sleep with a partner or if you have kids or pets coming and joining you during the night, because it's all about whether the person on this side of the mattress is going to be aware of or disturbed by what's happening on this side of the mattress. And basically we test this several ways, and overall we tested this mattress as excellent any way you cut it. We dropped bowling ball next to our kind of bowling pin test sleeper, and then I throw my whole weight down next to it, and really the bowling pin barely moves. There's very little motion transferred across this mattress, so excellent across the board. The second feature we tested is temperature, which is really all about the degree to which you're going to be able to sleep cool and comfortably on this mattress. And there's a lot of buzz around the industry in the last few years about sleeping cool, and a lot of features that are designed to help keep you sleeping cool. And then there's mattresses that don't need as many of those features because they don't have maybe the features that trap heat in the first place. And I feel like this mattress is a little bit more in that latter camp than in the former camp. There's not exactly a ton of advertised features that are built into this that are specifically supposed to keep you cool, but there's also not a lot of problematic features that could, create the need for having cooling features in the first place. Let me explain a little bit more here. One of the things that's most important, probably the most important thing in my opinion, when it comes to keeping you temperature neutral and cool and comfortable is airflow. Obviously, airflow is the best way for heat to escape your body, whether through the mattress or otherwise. And the more airflow there is for that heat that's going into the mattress, the more airflow there is in the mattress, the more efficiently that heat's going to get away from you, and the more efficiently cooler air will get to you. So in this mattress, first of all, you've got this quilting up on top, which is organic cotton, which obviously is a natural fiber. A lot of air can flow through that organic cotton. And then you also have basically just a thin layer of memory foam below that, as I mentioned. And then you have a relatively small layer of foam right below the quilt package before you get to microcoils, which again, microcoils naturally are metal coils. It's about an inch thick layer, but that's substantial enough that a lot of air can flow through that, and it goes edge to edge, that microcoil layer. So essentially maybe a couple inches-ish below your body, you have a layer that has a ton of airflow right in this mattress. So then you have, obviously below that, you have this unique pocketed coil unit that is consisting of an 8-inch spring plus a 2-inch kind of foam hat, which those, again, that's essentially like a foam layer. Those foam hats essentially make a foam layer, but it's not a uniform solid piece of foam, not a slab of foam that is much less able for air to flow through it. It's kind of unique little pockets of foam that move independently and therefore do allow for a little bit more airflow to get through them. And again, once you get through that layer of foam hats, you're now in another 8-inch layer of coils, which again goes edge to edge, no foam perimeter here. So that layer of the mattress has lots of airflow. So on balance, airflow being the most important factor here is a win for this mattress in terms of the way it's designed. Some of these mattresses have a lot of features in terms of helping heat conduct away from your body through the mattress. This mattress doesn't have a lot of that. In fact, it does have a little bit in those foam hats I mentioned. There's a little bit of phase change material built into the foam, but to be honest, I mean, that's pretty far down the mattress, so I wouldn't expect there to be a whole lot of effect from that, but I also don't think there's a whole lot of need for that, frankly. So, so that's, in that category, I'd sort of say this mattress is relatively neutral. And then as it relates to the last thing that we think is most important in this calculation, it's about how much of your body's surface area is exposed to the air and thereby able to dispel heat the most efficient way it can, which is not having to go through the mattress at all. And in this case, I'd say overall, again, because of the fact that there's the sinkage is about average that we talked about, and because of the undulating surface here that allows for more pockets of air to get between your body and the mattress, I'd say overall this score is kind of above average in terms of surface area, body surface area exposure, because it allows that, your heat to get away from your body more efficiently that way. So this is why on balance we say that overall this is a mattress that has very good ability to keep you cool and comfortable at night. The next feature we tested is edge support, and this is going to be important to you whether you like to sit on the edge of the bed like I'm doing now, or whether you end up frequently lying along the edge of the bed for whatever reason. And we test it both ways and come up with kind of an amalgamated rating here for edge support. And in this case, we'd say the overall rating for this mattress is very good. However, it is kind of a combination of two ratings that are a little further apart than maybe normal. When we tested it sitting on the edge, as I'm doing now, like I said, you can see there's a fair amount of dip here, and I think that has to do with the fact that the unique coil design with those foam hats basically means that the reinforced coils they're using along the edge to give it a stronger edge are in effect 2 inches further away from the surface of the mattress than they would be if it was just a big coil. So that allows you to sink a little further in before you reach that reinforcement. So overall, we'd say the edge support sitting on the edge of the bed is pretty good, but when you're lying along the edge of the bed, there's more than enough strength to that edge to give it a lot of rigidity and firmness, and we felt like we could just lie comfortably right on the edge. So we'd say the lying on the bed edge support is excellent, and that's kind of how we come to, and we consider the lying on the bed to be slightly more important because obviously it affects the kind of usable surface area of your mattress while you're sleeping on it, having a strong edge. So overall, we come up with the weighted score of very good for the edge support on this mattress. The next feature I'll cover real briefly, which is the ease of repositioning. Some of you may be worried about how easy it is to kind of roll around on the mattress or maneuver. Overall, we would say it's good. The ease of repositioning here is good. It's not the easiest mattress like you would find in a latex hybrid or something like that. The conformance and cushioning does kind of mitigate the movement just a little bit, but overall, not going to be a problem for most people. And even for those who are worried about this, we'd still say it's good. The next feature we look at is the degree of natural materials in the mattress, as well as just the lack of harmful chemicals. And this is another area where Saatva does tend to talk about itself a lot. They talk about them being an environmentally friendly mattress company and so forth, but they don't specifically make any claims about this mattress being a natural mattress or let alone an organic mattress per se. Although the word organic does appear pretty prominently on the cover. But overall, we would say that this mattress is good in this department, but not the best. And I'll tell you how we got to that. Essentially, there are some natural materials in this mattress. Specifically, you have, for example, the cover does use organic cotton, and likewise, so does the quilt. There is actually organic cotton in the quilt below the cover. And so those are some natural materials used. And then in terms of other, like the lack of harmful chemicals, all the foams used in this mattress are certified to the CertiPure standard, which is a standard, if you don't know, that looks for the presence of and off-gassing of various harmful materials and certifies that neither are present beyond some minimally acceptable threshold. So those are a couple of good things. The only kind of offsetting things, of course, there is a lot of polyurethane foam in this mattress, and including in the coil units, those unique coil units that we're going to show you. And of course, there is a little bit of off-gassing. We've had this mattress open for a few months, and we still can smell a little bit of that kind of new mattress smell. So on balance, we'd say some natural materials, some synthetic materials, but no harmful chemicals, and therefore, on balance, we'd say good. All right, we're on to the last feature that we tested that we're going to talk about in this video, which is adjustable base compatibility. This is something that more and more people are interested in, and it refers to the ability of the mattress to kind of be used successfully on an adjustable base. Now, obviously, right off the bat, I should start with the fact that yes, this is an adjustable base compatible mattress, basically meaning the manufacturer deemed it compatible because it was designed from the outset to be able to bend and flex in being used on an adjustable base, and it's not going to void your warranty to do so or anything of that nature. So check that box, but that doesn't mean that necessarily all mattresses are created equal in this department. And basically another thing we look at would be how closely can this mattress conform to the curves of an adjustable base, particularly when put to the most extreme test of having both the head and the foot elevated completely with, let's say, no one on the mattress. So we tested it with, like, for example, me on one side of the mattress or me in the middle. Basically what we found is that, let's say with me on one side of the mattress, it conforms okay underneath me, not so well on the other side of the mattress. In other words, it struggles a little bit because it's such a thick mattress to conform to the curves of the base. Again, in this extreme scenario where we have got both head and foot fully elevated. Again, in that same extreme scenario, which again may or may not be the most relevant, but nonetheless we feel like it's most revealing. The other thing we see is that sometimes these quilt layers, this is a relatively thick quilt package, and we find that it can bunch up under your kind of rear end area in that valley between the kind of head and foot of the mattress. You can find some bunching. So in this case, I would say not uncomfortable for me while I'm elevating the head and foot and sitting on the mattress. But if someone were to kind of come in next to me, it's quite a lot of clumped up quilt layer that they'd have to kind of jump onto, and they probably would feel it a little bit. So maybe just not quite optimal in that area. On balance, though, we kind of look at all the factors and considerations, and we would still say the adjustable base compatibility here is good. All right, now that we've wrapped up the 3 F's, we're going to move on to 3 things that are going to be important to pretty much any mattress shopper, particularly when you're buying a mattress online, like you'll most likely do with this one, which are delivery, return policy, and warranty. In terms of delivery, Saatva offers free white glove delivery, which basically means they will not only come bring this mattress to your house, they will actually bring it all the way into your bedroom, unpackage it, and remove your old mattress at the same time. That's all part of the service for free. In terms of return policy, they have a 365-night return policy, which basically means you can return this mattress within that time frame for any reason, no questions asked, and you will receive a full refund, but for a $99 return fee that will apply at any point during that time. In terms of the warranty, Saatva has a 15-year warranty. It is, however, prorated. So the first 2 years are non-prorated, and then it moves to a prorated schedule. During that 15-year period, you're basically protected against any manufacturing defects except for what they consider to be normal sagging, sort of normal wear and tear, which is a 1.5-inch amount of like sagging or body impressions on this mattress. So within that time frame, if it's been between 3 and 5 years, then basically you're going to get about half credit for half of your mattress purchase price. If it's between 6 and 10 years, you're going to get credit for about 40% of your purchase price, and if it's between 11 and 15 years, you're going to get credit for about 20% of your purchase price. So that is the warranty. By the way, if you've looked at our videos of Saatva products in the past, they have made some changes to that warranty since the last videos we've done. All right, now I've alluded to the construction of this mattress and some of the materials in it several times, so I want to make sure we take a look under the hood here and show you what's inside this mattress, and particularly because this is a novel construction here, and there's a lot going on. First of all, overall, this mattress is about, well, they say 15 inches, but you can see you're getting, in our case, at least 1, if not 1.5 bonus inches here. There's a lot of mattress, and depending on how you count these things, you could call it 6 layers or maybe 8. Let's just start at the top here. You've got this cover here, which is nice, soft cotton material here. Made with organic cotton. You can see that printed on the cover itself. And it has an antimicrobial treatment. And it has some interesting things going on in the quilting. But let me get to that in just 1 second, because first I'll tell you what's in the quilt. Inside this quilt, you do have organic cotton. You can sort of even pull some out here. You can see the organic cotton. And then you also have just a little bit of memory foam. It's probably a ½ inch to 1 inch or so in there. And all of that is kind of stitched together in the quilt package. So let's talk about that quilt package, because this is one of the ways that they reinforce the center third of the mattress is through the quilting pattern. They have basically a looser quilt pattern going on the head third and the foot third, and a much tighter quilting pattern going in the center third. And that does give it more firmness. The other thing they do in that center third that relates to the quilt package is they actually put even more material in there. So there's even a little bit of additional memory foam, or actually it's gel foam, in that center third of the mattress. And that just gives it like more packed in material, sort of squeezed into a very tight quilt pattern, gives that center third more rigidity, more firmness, and helps sort of support the heaviest part of your body, which for all of us is our hips. So that's 2 of the 3 things that they do to give extra support to this center third of your body. Right below the quilt, you have 1 inch of polyurethane foam. It's not memory foam, but it does, this is what I mentioned, it's not super fast responsive. It's kind of medium fast, I would say, a little bit of delay, but certainly not enough to call it memory foam. Then you have, below that, you have this layer of microcoils, which is about 1 inch thick. These are about maybe a little bigger than 1/4 of these microcoils. And here you have actually in the center third, the third thing that they did here to reinforce the center third is they put stronger microcoils in that center third of the mattress. So again, and these microcoils already are like a pretty, as a comfort layer goes, they've got some rigidity and support to them. So that center third, I think, is really buoyed by having even firmer microcoils in the center third. Then below that, you've got another layer of polyfoam that is about 1 inch thick or so, and probably a little bit softer than the microcoils. And then you have below that, you've got a scrim sheet kind of separating below that last layer of foam. And then you got these unique coils that I've referenced several times. And I've got one kind of isolated here so you can really get a good look at it. Basically, it's a 10-inch coil unit consisting of an 8-inch pocketed coil. And you can see it's kind of, this pocketed coil is a pocket within a pocket. So I've cut the outer pocket open so you can see this spring here, this 8-inch spring that just looks like a standard pocket spring. But then above it, you've got this 2-inch block of foam, which is a square piece of foam glued to the top of the coil, and together with the pocket spring is pocketed up in a second pocket. So a lot of pockets, basically. And that is a new kind of novel coil design that we've just seen on the market in kind of recent years. This is the first time I've seen it without memory foam as used as the sort of foam hat that I was describing earlier. And instead they use a phase change infused and also graphite infused foam here that is, I would say it's not memory foam, but it is kind of like a firmer, on the firmer, at least medium to firm foam here. But nonetheless, it's not nearly as firm as obviously this same foam would be if it were a full sheet of foam. Because obviously these little pockets are able to move independently of one another. And as I've mentioned, that's where another way that air can flow vertically through this mattress. So that's basically your next 10 inches of the mattress. And then below that, of course, you have 1 inch. Well, this is another thing. There's an eco pad supposedly in some models. Saatva has a lot of manufacturers. It seems like the manufacturer that made ours used 1 inch of foam on the bottom. That's what we have on our model we received. But nonetheless, that is really not something that you're going to feel at all. It's at least 14 inches into the mattress, maybe 15. So anyways, that is pretty much your interior of the mattress. Coming back to the exterior, I guess all I would say is it is all wrapped in an elegant exterior that Saatva does kind of specialize in creating a really luxurious look and feel to their mattresses. They do have, you know, a nice tape edge. They have this side panel that has, I don't know if it's velour or velvet or something, but this is a nice, soft, almost leathery feeling kind of side panel. And then this is probably more organic cotton, and then that same velvety type finish there. And you've got 4 sturdy handles built into the side panel, 2 on each side of the mattress, which is very helpful because this is a lot of mattress. So it's very helpful to have those nice handles to maneuver it. So there you have it. That is the materials and construction of the Saatva Rx. All right, so let's go ahead and now just sum up what kind of is our take on this Saatva Rx mattress. Overall, I do find a lot to like about this mattress. I gotta be honest, I was a little bit skeptical of this new coil design. And what I found about this is that they did a lot of things smart to kind of capture the benefits of this coil design without suffering some of the drawbacks of this same coil design. And also, they did some smart things even with the coil that kind of worked together in concert with with the effects that they were trying to give here, such as they did not use memory foam in the foam hats. So that allowed, in this case, a little bit more kind of buoyancy from that particular foam layer, which again is part of what they were trying to offer here, keeping you from sinking too far into the mattress. But then they did a lot in that center third, again to sort of offset some of the effects conformance-wise of that support layer that worked successfully to kind of deliver, I think, the ultimate spinal alignment for a lot of different types of people. So overall, a lot to like there. I also did like the things that they did to create more airflow. I like the use of natural materials right up near the surface, closest to your body. I like even just having a little bit of memory foam in the quilt layer where it can probably benefit you the most without having, you know, too much of that memory feel for those people who, you know, are not looking for that. So on balance, we did feel like the pressure relief was maybe not quite as strong as the spinal alignment, but the spinal alignment we did think was going to be suitable for a pretty wide range of sleepers, as we talked about earlier in the video. So basically, where I would say this shakes out is if you're looking for a mattress that is a little bit on the firmer side, but has above average amount of conformance, that's a combination that is not necessarily that easy to find, particularly without memory foam. That's typically the way that combination works, is you have a very rigidly firm but highly conforming memory foam mattress. Here, you're able to kind of get that effect without a whole lot of memory feel. So if you're looking for that kind of combination, firmer comfort level, or firmer softness level, I should say, more conformance, a little bit more sleeping in your mattress type of sensation, but with very little to no memory feel and some bounce, that is going to be all a good fit for you on this mattress. So if all those things sound like a good match, and if it's important to you to have good use of natural materials, very good edge support, and excellent motion isolation, then I definitely think that this Saatva Rx mattress is one that you should consider. So there you have it. That is our take on the Saatva Rx mattress. We hope you found that helpful, and I would suggest that for more information about this mattress, you go to our website, goodbed.com. We've got a link in the description of this video to where you can find more information and use our comparison tool, which will let you put this mattress side by side with any other mattress that you may be looking at in terms of all the characteristics that we covered in this video. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we really hope you sleep well.